The new Hyrox Elite season kicks off this weekend in Hamburg, but who will be the first to make their mark and secure their spot to the World Championships? Hey, what's happening people? I'm Woodsy and this is my channel, Woodsy Workout, where I give out coaching and tips on all things Hyrox and hybrid fitness. I've done videos on technique, training methods and race strategy, so if that's what you're looking for, then subscribe to stay up to date. I'm excited for the new Elite season. Hyrox is ever evolving and this year we have some interesting changes. Firstly, the 4 majors will remain the same with the same qualification process, each with 3 World Championship spots for male and female. But instead of the last chance qualifier, we will have 3 new regional championships with 1 spot in each. We will also see a new Elite 15 race course. It was announced that the Elite 15 will be racing on a completely separate track to the age group races, which will hopefully make it a little more consistent and better visuals, all of that. So it's all kind of part of Hyrox's effort to professionalize the sport and eventually get into the Olympics. Today I'll talk you through some of the top names that will be racing in Hamburg. In the interest of time, I'm not going to mention everybody, but as always, I applaud all of these athletes for their crazy fast times that have gotten them into this position. And there's nearly always someone that surprises that I don't mention. So if you know a dark horse, then drop it in the comments. Starting off with the men, this is the lineup as of this week. Now, what will be interesting with these 4 majors spread across the season plus the regionals is how many races these athletes do and how consistent will they be. Because even if they do race them all, they may not peak or build specifically for every single one of them. For example, you'll notice Hunter is not in this lineup. He kind of prefers to take a longer off season and then peak towards World Championships. Okay, so firstly, we've got to talk about the reigning world champion, Tim Venish. Tim shocked a lot of people with his win over Hunter and the rest of the field at the World Championships just 4 months ago. He did take a little time to celebrate, but I think in the last couple of months he's only doubled down on his training. He's got some more support around him now and he's doing some testing to continue to make improvements. So it's clear he's hungry to keep that top spot and he would definitely want to show up in front of his home nation in Hamburg. Look for him to come out flying and take the lead from the front. He goes hard. Probably the fastest runner in the field. It's clear he's super fit at the moment, but that doesn't mean that he can't be beaten. He has been known to fade towards the end of races, and if he doesn't pace it quite right, he could lose out to some of those races that are stronger in the second half. Alex Ronkovic is an interesting one. He made a name for himself as Mr. Consistent after many years of solid podium performances. He broke through with a win at World Championships in 2024, followed by a major win in Amsterdam, which is what qualified him for this race. But since then, he has fallen off a little bit. With a 6th place finish in Hong Kong and then an 8th place finish at Worlds. He has continued to race regularly with no signs of any major issues. He actually completed a pretty fast pro doubles race with Tim just last weekend. So I think Alex will be looking to make a little bit of a comeback this season. Then we've got James Kelly. JK was the highest achiever throughout the majors last year with 2 first place finishes, a 2nd and a 4th. He was clearly going for the win in Chicago this year, but after falling behind on the sled pull, he could only manage to bring himself back to 4th, which at the World Championships is pretty impressive in of itself, but I think he will be coming in with a bit of a point to prove, and His training and racing style is frequent. He doesn't take much of an off season at all. He kind of keeps training volume pretty high year round. So I think he will be maybe outperforming some of those that have taken some time off, or they just aren't at their peak. And then we've got Dylan Scott. Dylan really came into his own last season after a little bit of a shaky start in Amsterdam, finishing 15th. He went on to win Las Vegas Major and take 3rd at the World Championships, as well as putting down multiple very fast times. He is another athlete that likes to keep training volume pretty high year round. Previous to last year, he was kind of a bit up and down with his performances, and I think there's still that little bit of doubt, which I think he thrives on, and a win here would really kind of put that to rest. Considering the caliber of athletes in this field, I don't expect him to come out and take the lead at the beginning, but if he's even close to the front by the second half, he's got a good chance of taking over from there. Other names to look out for is Rich Ryan. He is the fastest athlete which doesn't have an auto qualifier to all of the majors from last season, so he will be looking to make his move to secure the rest of his season, and as will a lot of these athletes. Jake Dearden, he pulled out of World Championships during the race with an injury, so it's good to see that he's back racing. Hopefully he can go the distance. Sean Noble has been in a little bit of controversy again. In his most recent race, he was in position to win, but apparently was given 40 no reps on the wall balls, and then he didn't finish the race. So there's been a little bit of back and forth on whether they were good reps or not. But either way, I think what we saw at Worlds and kind of going forward, I think the judging is going to be really strict, and I just hope that it's kind of equal across the board and it doesn't impede the athletes too much. I do believe that this race will be the introduction of the penalty box. So if you get a penalty, you can't cross the finish line until you've waited for that time. So we'll see kind of how that plays out. And then before we get on to the women, if you do have a Hyrox race coming up, then you're going to want to check out the Hyrox Handbook. This book condenses everything that I've learned over the years, both competing and coaching athletes. It's great for beginners to grasp and veterans to refer back to, and it covers racing, training, race strategy, running, lifting, equipment, what to pack, what to wear. It's all there, and it's all available for digital download on my website, woodsyworkout.com. Now on to the women. This is the official lineup on the women's side. Much like with Tim, Linda put the world on notice when she stormed through to victory in the World Championships. Linda has been very successful throughout many years of Hyrox with multiple podiums, but she finally put it together on the big stage to win World Championships in Chicago. Interestingly, she did it kind of by running her own race. She didn't lead from the beginning, but kind of took over from the burpees and then pretty much cruised to victory from there. There's a little more pressure on her now. She will have the eyes on her, and I'm super interested to see how this race plays out. Does she have that superior level of fitness, or did she kind of just play the race right in Chicago? She'll also have the support of the Germans in Hamburg, so I know that they will be very excited for this one too. Lauren Weeks dominated the majors last season with 3 first place finishes and 1 second place finish, although she did appear to noticeably struggle at the World Championships, particularly around the sleds. She may have come out a little too hot or just wasn't her day, but she did still manage to get 3rd. I'll be interested to see if she sticks to her same tactic of leading from the front, kind of no matter what. I imagine she still will, but we will really kind of get a better idea of how the race is going after the sleds. She still holds the world record time and is the most successful athlete in Hyrox. But with this field kind of getting stronger and some of the younger athletes coming through, can she be as dominant this season? We will have to find out. And speaking of young up-and-coming athletes, Joanna Wetrick burst onto the scene last season. She raced all 4 majors, finishing 3rd, 1st, 2nd and 2nd. Herself and Lauren Weeks were back and forth all season, and it was the same at World Championships, where she eventually overtook Lauren to take 2nd. The question I have is, was that focus on racing each other what allowed Linda to eventually win overall? And will it play out differently this time? Joanna is still very new to the sport, and her progression has been super fast. So we're all kind of keen to see, can she continue that going into her 2nd season? Those, I think, are the big 3 names, but some other ones to look out for are Vivian Tafuto. She is the fastest athlete without an auto qualifier. She is very well experienced and will be kind of looking to bounce back after a 7th place finish at the Worlds. Lucy Proctor, who has steadily been progressing the last couple of years. She finished 5th at the World Championships and then 2nd in the doubles. And Amelia Darman, who finished 6th at World Championships, which was actually her very first elite race. So there's still a lot of potential there. As for my picks for the men, I think it's going to be a real battle between Tim and James Kelly. I'm going to give this one to Tim with the home court advantage. So I'll say Tim first and then JK in 2nd, and I'll go for Dylan Scott to take 3rd. On the women's side, I think Lauren will make a bit of a comeback. So I'm going to say Lauren in 1st, Joanna in 2nd, and then Linda in 3rd. But that's just my takes. Let me know your picks. Drop it in the comments, and I'm excited to see how this one plays out. Remember, you can check out the rest of my Hyrox videos on my channel and find guides and plans on my website, woodsyworkout.com. Follow me on Instagram at woodsyworkout, where I post plenty more tips and tricks on all things health and fitness. Until next time, peace.